and they're at
It's
the
gonna be
last
a
one.
what?
Okay, so they got these like short.
No, he's gonna be no. Just said the last pope is gonna be what?
So they designed this building. It's put in whoever it is after that last pope is going to be over and everything. The rapture will come and stuff like that. And they said by the time they added the numbers up, they said by the time that happens, it'll be in 2 years. They said 2000. I know it's another time, another name to it. I mean, another number to it, a year. They said that's what they.
All right. We are the Hebrew Israelites. Week in and week out, we come out to prophesy the downfall of this kingdom, this wicked ass kingdom called America, aka Babylon, and to tell those people of Negro, Latino, and Native descent who they are according to their true nationality in the Bible. All right. Once again, we are out here on a nifty day. Lord bless. We almost out of the cold weather. We still gotta wear little jackets and coats and shit. But here, it's heating up a lot more. I did a video concerning the tariffs and the things that the tariffs have been doing. Like a lot of people, not just here, but in China, are in a broken condition. A lot of people are losing their businesses. They talking about 80 billion. No, I think it was like 10 billion jobs or 10 million jobs, 10 billion, 10 million jobs being lost in China because they're solely dependent on the productive desire that America has from other countries. They outsource everything they do. And what they do is purchase more than they export. And that's the number one production company. They got powerful within the last 60 years, 50 years, based off of their economical growth. But now that they have these tariffs in place, I was looking at this, there was a Chinese lady. But they would show like all of these, because they got the Chinese TikTok. I forgot the name of the page, but it's China Insider or something like that. And it's dope because they'll have all of those videos of Chinese people making how we make videos on ours, but they actually read the subtitles for you, right? So you don't have to read them yourself. But the point I'm making is there was a lady on there and she was like, shit, all she can do is buy vegetables. She don't even have enough to buy meat. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to think about it. I just saw that with Cali. And out there on the coast, where it's supposed to be a bunch of these different containers, all of these shipping containers that's supposed to be out there, the whole fucking shipping container lot, the whole pier, the dock itself, that shit has no ships out there for the first time. They have no ships out there. The complete opposite of what happened with COVID-19. Remember in COVID-19, all of those areas were jam-packed with ships and they didn't have the ability to drop off cargo. It's the complete opposite. There's no ships out there. And we're about to fill it in these stores. Everything that you have, these luxuries that you have, is about to be an issue. That's why so many people want to come here, because we have the luxury to have fresh water, to eat, to drink, whenever we choose to. You have a diet. You have a choice of diet. Most people in North Korea, imports, they get their starved to the point where sometimes you have to just eat insects, man. Y'all can't even fathom being told you have to eat insects just to survive. Yeah. So the reality, the gravity of the situation is about to set in. You know how at grocery stores, right? At grocery stores, they usually have stock above it. It's like the shelf, the top shelf is stocked. And then at like Costco's and shit, you know, they have shit on top of that, wrapped up in plastic. They don't even have any of those at a lot of these stores. At certain
Second Ezra 15, 16, and 10.
Yeah, what's it say?
Oh, yeah, I got it. This is Second Ezra 16, verse 10. He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence. So that's pretty much talking about the Lord's presence. Like, you'll hear a whole bunch of loud sounds, bangs, and thunders going on. And it's going to make everyone frightened and fear. They're not going to be able to handle all those sounds. Like, people get disturbed over, like, the littlest bump, you know? Stuff going on like that.
So this
Yeah.
place is gonna go down in one big ass boom.
Yep. Verse 12. The earth quaketh, and the foundation thereof. The sea arises up with waves from the deep.
Run down a little bit lower. 16.
You'll go to 16.
Yeah, what's 16?
Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backwards. Let me go to 15. Or you go lower? Okay,
It's talking about.
you go 17. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days?
Right. Woe is me. Woe is me. Who would deliver me in those days? Woe literally means destruction. And then you say, woe is me, woe is me, woe is me. That's also like in Revelation where it's talking about Babylon has fallen. Because this new kingdom that the new Babylon that we live in right now is going to be fallen. The three woes, World War III, everything is starting to make sense because we see prophecy unfolding. They talking about World War III every single day, man. In case you're not paying attention to media, we are close. Look, they just had the footage of North Korean soldiers over there in Russia actually running drills and operations and training with them, man. Talking about they out there.
Take Ukraine.
Yeah. All right. Now they just now showing the making it public to us, the training videos of them. It was on RT. Tell you something, man. A lot of these nations are starting to get involved in other affairs of other nations and with the BRICS nations and with the NATO and EU nations. That shit is about to collide. This is why it starts at the economy. The economy is getting broken down. And any time in history you've seen the economy get broken down, what happens? The world goes into a war. A lot of lives are lost, and a lot of that debt, or the resources of the losing country come to the other country, and now they're no longer in debt, right? Put another nation under servitude. They take their minerals. That's the biggest thing. Look at what's going on with America. America, Donald Trump is hell bent on making Zelensky sign the what? Natural minerals over the natural mineral and resources and stones. All right, there's a reason for that. All of these occupations that we have everywhere in the world, each one of them are in a strategic place because we harness their resources and all of that. The majority of it comes back to us. So all of this stuff is strategic, and us as the the minor man in this society, we can't do nothing about it. All we can do is preach about it, pray about it, and teach those that are hopeful elect what's about to happen and to make spiritual preparations because you can't do shit financially. What you gonna do when that chip comes? You got millions of dollars in the fucking bank. You living a lavish lifestyle. And I take away the money, all physical money is gone. Now you have to get a tag, an electronic chip placed in your right hand or one of Elon's neural links.
Okay. Verse 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings. The beginning of famine and great death.
Right. This is the beginning of great sorrow, famine, and death. You're starting to see, look what's going over there, what's going on with Israel and Palestine, the Palestinians. There's a lot of famine and death going on in a lot of different places at the same motherfucking time. North and South Sudan. Military. Ukrainian war. There's a lot of famine in different places. It's causing a big influx of people to go from one continent to the other. They over there battling against the ocean to get the fuck away from that shit. So what you have? A massive migration of migrants going into Europe and coming to America. Everybody is taking weight on that. Both sides slowly pushing everybody into one area. You know what I'm saying? A lot of those people are coming here either for salvation. I'm talking about a native Latino and Negro descent. But they come here for destruction, man, because this place is going to be destroyed. Do you know the word Jesus got for you? Are you ready for Jehovah's return? Go ahead. Talk about this. Basically, what I want to do.
I'm going to read verse 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. Right. What shall I do with these evils shall come?
Yeah, all of these, there's so many different evils. What you got all of a sudden since who is that? All of a sudden since Robert Kennedy started saying things about the vaccines, and jabs, saying that the polio jab you don't need to get it. Now, all of a sudden, the migrants had an outbreak of polio out of nowhere. Oh, he's lying. Look, see, they still getting it over here.
They infect those people just to prove that you still need it.
I'll show you that they do that. That's what Resident Evil is all about. Wesker was what? An Edomite, shades, with some blonde hair, slick back.
And you know what's funny about that? They have a real life umbrella corporation that uses that same logo.
Yeah.
And they got They got a company named after the one in Terminator
Yep.
that set off the whole robot apocalypse.
Yep.
They got both of those right now.
Yes.
And they're working on it. Yeah, they got a real one, Skynet. They got an umbrella corporation.
I saw something on that. I saw the hey, Esau don't care right now. Right now, this is the time of many evils, man. Because it's a whole lot of evil shit going on at one time. Or it was pockets of it. I remember when, brothers they said they didn't have nothing to make a lesson about, man.
There's always something.
Yeah. Now, especially now. Now it's so much crazy shit happening at one time. Yeah, man, we always got something to talk about, bro.
You see those robots? They got these robots that keep trying to rebel and act on their own. They had this camera set up.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
So one robot turned itself on, and then it turned on all the other robots so they can all be alert and move around. And people were trying to stress them off. They saw this other one acting up in the crowd and started to punch somebody. Yeah.
This is Revelations 12:12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because you know it, that you have but a short time. So I mean, all these things is happening because these devils is ramping up because they know that they don't have that much time left before Yahweh Shai's return, man. I mean, shit. The biggest thing was the Israelites waking up. A couple years ago, one of those Israeli prime ministers or some shit, they was having a council, and the bitch was like, the biggest threat to the Israelis are the American blacks. And it's like, why? Because we waking up to the fact that they are imposters. They are the Edomites over there, and we the real Israelites. We're the blood descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And since we're waking up and we're telling the world this, not only that, but prophesying what the scriptures say, they know they don't got that much time left. And of course, they're still doing their rituals with their demons and shit. Even their demons is most likely telling them that they don't got that much time left.
That devil is scrambling right now. That's why they put everything on the table. Not even trying to hide shit anymore. They are real blatant at that the fact that they are killing.
Yeah.
But that, hey, I got the video on my phone.
Talking about the Israelis when they're bombing people, they say, "Oh, they're using kids as shields, so we're just going to keep bombing them."
Mm-hmm.
They're using them as shields. What do you want us to do?
Yeah.
Fight around them.
Bomb these shields.
Oh, you know what's like since I've been seeing stuff like that, I've been seeing stuff about police shooting like a person holding a child and then shooting the baby too. They got no tactics no more on how to handle these situations no more. They're just killing you and the kid.
Yeah.
They can't do it.
Right. And this October 7th bullshit is proven to be bullshit. They keep on, they're committing genocide against these people, talking about another so-called terrorist organization has hostages that are Israelis, so they got to keep bombing them, keep bombing these people that have nothing to do with it, and these children that have nothing to do with it, because this so-called terrorist organization is still holding the same hostages that they've been holding for 3 or 4 years, which they have no proof of. They just said some shit and started bombing the people with no evidence and no proof, nothing. This just happened and y'all gotta believe it.
And they tell them to go over here and you'll be safe.
Right, and then bomb that area.
And they do that all, I'm looking at it on RT. I mean, not RT, on Democracy Now! And RT. And they keep doing it like, oh, they didn't do it like 30 or 40 times, dog.
Right. And people still believe the bullshit. And then the major countries that's supposed to push the laws of the world, they don't do nothing about it.
Oh, the UN?
Yeah, the UN and supposedly America, who's supposed to be the police of the world, which they don't do shit about it, letting you know the real people that run the world are these fake Jews, man. And then they done made up this stupid ass term anti-scamatics, and anybody that they call an anti-schematic, now all of a sudden they supposed to be blacklisted.
Oh shit! Hey, I got to
But hey, they gonna call you that anyway.
um, so you know the wall. What's that shit called?
Yeah. All that wailing wall where they be putting their heads on it, trying to break through it with their skull.
Almost like that, right? So the Solomon's temple
You know
was
what that
built.
is?
Yeah. So Solomon's temple built more southward. Yes. Mhm. Yup, it's a Roman architectural structure. Yes, correct. It was a Roman wall, and all the Edomites, world leaders, just like Trump. Trump's the first U.S. president. Yes, you can look it up. He's the first U.S. president. Yeah. All right. So of course he's going to be in their favor. This is why they justify them coming to their aid because he's Jewish. Now you have a situation right now where they just keep doing this, and the rest of the nations again now they fucking up Syria. At the same time, Bashar al-Assad is out there. They got him. They did a coup, and they got him out of there.
This is Revelations 2 and 9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. So, the scriptures tell you plainly, the motherfuckers calling themselves Jews are the synagogue of Satan. As a nation, you Israelites, which comprise of the so-called Negroes, Native Americans, and Latinos, who are the Negroes are the real tribe of Judah. You don't call yourself Jews, but there are people on the planet calling themselves Jews and Jewish and Israeli for a reason. That's because they're not the real people. And when it says in the Bible that they're trying to cut off the name of Israel out of the world forever, that's true. Because even right now, these Jewish people, these Israelis, false people, they actually trying to get the name of Israelites out of the world.
Oh yeah, that's the nation. Hey, Psalms 83rd chapter.
Fine. They trying to actually get rid of the word Israelites. Because we don't call ourselves Jews. We call ourselves Israelites from whatever tribe we from. But we are the Hebrew Israelites. And they actually trying to take that word out. They're trying to take that nation out, whether it be physically or spiritually. Because they don't want nobody calling themselves the Hebrew Israelites. And we are out here claiming that we are the Hebrew Israelites, and you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and natives are the Israelites, man. We ain't claiming to be no goddamn Jewish people. We claiming that we the bloodline of the children of Israel from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We are actually those people. And they actually they making an active effort to take the name of Israelites out of people's mind. That's why I was watching GMS Maccabean Spirit, and he was doing a video with Kim Iverson, and these fake Jews, they kept saying, they reading the Bible, talking about, and it says in this verse that the Jewish people went here and the Jewish people went there. The Bible don't say the Jewish people went any fucking where, because Jewish is not in the Bible. The Bible said the Israelites went, and the Israelites are us.
Acts 18, starting at 1. After these things, Paul departed from Athens and came to Corinth, and found a certain Jew named Aquila, born in Pontus, lately come from Italy, with his wife Priscilla, because was that Claudius had commanded all Jews to depart from Rome and unto them.
Right.
So
Why?
that's another fact for the the whole Israelite foreigner debate is that Israelites dwelt in these different cities that Paul had wrote letters to, like Corinth, Athens, and Rome. That goes to show that history proves that Israelites Gentiles that Paul was speaking to.
Right. Also said Italy. We have our people scattered to the four corners of the globe. All right. But the point of being that we got kicked out. Why did we get kicked out? History was shown during, I think it's the second Roman Jewish war. Or was it the first? It had to be the first. We were expelled from Italy or from Rome because the same thing that you see the brothers out here preaching and teaching and pushing this word. Like literally, if you go to Google Images and you put in Yahweh Shai, the true image of what the Lord looks like according to the Bible pulls up. If you put Edomite into Google Images, it will show you a bunch of white men.
I'll show you that caveman photo.
Yeah.
So even a caveman can do it. Harry all over with it.
So for
And
everybody,
all over with a hairy garment.
and Apostle Hart made a good point. He don't control Google, but it was posted so much that a whole worldwide network had to acknowledge it. It's true. Your own Google Images say it. Y'all just don't want to acknowledge it. That's why you are fucking that the Lord refers to you as a snake, a serpent. You got a forked tongue because you can tell lies and the truth. But you live off your lies and you tell small truths, man.
And then what else proves that? Because Vladimir Putin put out the Russian icons, images of the dark images of the saints, and who you originally called Jesus Christ, which is real name is Yahweh Shai, being dark skinned. And these Edomites all over TikTok didn't want to accept it. So they were making a bunch of videos, saying Jesus is white and all that shit. That's because that image been a stronghold for a long time to where it's finally being broken. I always like to bring up that goodbye at the top. As long as God is white, white men should have the right to rule. Really, you're not white, you're red. Different shades of red.
Right.
There's no such thing as a white person. It's like there's really no such thing as a black person.
Right.
But it's really just that social construct that y'all put together to classify Jake's Israelites and put them to a low degree while y'all set yourself in a high degree. Because, contrary to public belief, you had other nations over here and they classified themselves under that social construct of being white to get favor with Edomites.
This is Second Thessalonians 2:7. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work, only he who now marriage will let until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth and destroy with the brightness of his coming, even him whose coming is after the workings of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved.
I mean, what do y'all always try to say? You shall know them by their fruit. I mean, who sown all types of lies and deception throughout the four corners of the earth? Who pushed Caesar Borgia as an image of who you know is Jesus Christ, which his name is Yahweh Shai, all over the earth? And basically, did all types of acts of destruction to us and these other nations.
The first slave ship is called the good ship Jesus. Why would the Lord allow his name to be used on the very first slave ship that brought us into this country? Or the so-called Negroes into this country? Out of this country.
2 Thessalonians 2:11. And for this cause, the Most High shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness.
So if y'all really can't accept this doctrine the way brothers in Great Millstone and their affiliates bringing up this word, the spirit and the truth, y'all still blinded by the God of this world. You know, y'all still basically under Satan through the
Right,
so-called
right.
white man.
Y'all blinded by Caesar, you know, and whatever other gods that they didn't put in front of your face. Watching a video where these Hamites, well, actually they was Jake, they're from like Ghana and Nigeria and shit, talking about how they believe that the so-called white man is God. Like, what did he say? He said that the white man has created this and this and that, not knowing that it's actually Jake that created it. The so-called white man only patented this bullshit. They didn't create shit. There's like the so-called white man that created this and this and that. They like gods walking among us. I'm like, what the fuck, you nigga? What the fuck is wrong with you?
I mean,
You know, but he's an African though.
technically they are, and it's just their king. But there ain't no fucking gods like Yahweh Shai or Zeus or some motherfucking shit. No.
Yeah, they are like Zeus. Zeus is a myth. You know? These devils are a fucking myth. Yahweh and Yahweh Shai is the truth. And the truth is, the sons of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, the Israelites, or better yet, the real name of us is actually Yasher Allah. The true Israelites, we're the ones who created everything. What did the Chinese woman say? That you so-called white people are patent kings, man. Y'all patented everything. Y'all didn't create anything. So everything y'all say y'all created nothing. Y'all not geniuses. Y'all are liars. And all your people are liars, man. That's how you got everything that you have. It's all by lie.
How the fuck you gonna go to like what was it, Hong Kong or Japan or some shit and try to patent bubble tea,
Right,
knowing you didn't make the shit,
right,
and then you get a certain word of their business patents where anybody uses this title in their business, you can sue them.
right, right. But not knowing that the original creator caught on to that shit. But that's what you Edomites do. You devils lie and you steal people's things.
So I created it.
Right.
I didn't invent it.
Right. You didn't invent shit.
And over there, it was just a normal thing that everyone made.
Right. Right.
Well, that's why they consider gods, because they powers, in the sense that nobody else on the planet has that type of influence on every continent.
Right. Right.
Yeah, this is your king. This is his raggedy ass kingdom right now.
Yeah.
This is the height of Esau's kingdom right now.
And that's another thing. All the problems you people are having out there, the so-called white man made it. We don't run this kingdom or make the rules. The so-called white man made this kingdom, made the rules, and shit is falling apart. Everybody can feel it. Everybody knows it. But yet, the world actually blames the so-called Negro for it. It's like, how the fuck you gonna blame us for it, and we didn't make the rules of this place?
And all of that bullshit, y'all can do that no more.
Right.
I used to be able to get away with that dumbass shit. But look, our time is almost up.
Right.
We got the dregs of this thing.
Right. I mean, the kingdom is so fucked up. A woman don't know what she is, and a man don't know what he is in this fucked up.
Yeah, they have to sign that in the law and shit. That you motherfuckers know that you can't keep going around this motherfucker saying that using these children, dog.
Right.
That's the first ones that y'all fucking up. It's the children.
Right.
And that's why they do that. A lot of this stuff is in consent. So they can, it's leading to eventual consent of having sexual intercourse with a child. The child gives you consent.
In California.
Yes, they trying to make this a universal law.
They passed
They're going to,
passed in California.
right. That if a child give you consent, you can have a sexual encounter with them. What? Yeah.
of what age are they talking about now?
I-
What? Well, that's just ridiculous. But hey, the point is, Esau is the one who made all these rules.
The basis of men.
Right.
But don't nobody else deal with no shit like that. Esau is the savage. You gotta come up with a law. You know, a woman got married to her dog.
A woman married to anything. A tree, the Eiffel Tower, herself, a bunch of times. Just seeing these things happen.
Yes. Yes. I remember one where they got married to the ocean and shit.
Oh, yeah.
That was a mass ceremony where these dumbass Edomites went got married to the ocean. Yes, they got married to the motherfucking ocean. They had their ring, and I guess they gave the other ring. They threw it in the ocean.
Guy married his car.
Yep, God married his fucking car. Wait, didn't mention they laid out on the beach, sitting and proceeded to have sex with the ocean.
Out.
No, that ain't sex, but that's masturbating and shit. Call it what it is, man. That is fucking masturbating.
No, you got it correctly. It's sapiosexual.
That ain't no sex. It's masturbation.
Sapiosexual. I was stupid. It's what's the one where they can have? What was that? That you know what Donald Glover played in the new Han Solo movie?
Polyamorous.
No, not polyamorous.
This means you're attracted to anything.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
I forgot the name of it.
No, that's just being a prostitute. Indiscriminately
It's
sexual.
basically saying, yeah, I like guys or women, but I like them if I like them. They can look good. I like them. It don't matter what they are. They could be alien men, alien women. It could be human women, human men.
It could be a dog, a cat.
Ah,
I
damn.
forgot what it means. I forgot the name.
Well, you can like anything. And there's no label.
And all it really is just bullshit. Motherfuckers making up bullshit to justify their sexual immoralities.
That's what I'm thinking about. Yep. Sexually immoral. You can fuck anything. You need to be destroyed.
Well, talk about God.
Gandhi,
Right? You talking about Gandhi? When we talking about Gandhi upstairs, what you say about black people?
yeah, Gandhi. You know the famous Gandhi talked about an eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind. I think that was a slick shot at the Bible too.
Yeah, it was.
You know
That was. Because an eye for an eye don't leave the whole world blind.
It
An eye for an eye
restores
teaches.
balance.
Yeah, it restores balance and teaches accountability.
Look,
if
you
you
go,
do
you
something,
fuck a fucking nation over, and
Yeah.
they get to fuck you over right back. That
exactly,
restores balance.
right,
Period.
and then you have
Because you caused it, you can go back and say, hey, it's eye for eye. I get to get revenge on you for getting revenge on me for starting the whole shit.
Mhm.
That's not what it is.
Nope. It's, you started it, so the other motherfuckers gonna finish it, and then balance and accountability. You do something gonna be done to you. That's what an eye for an eye is all about.
That's what the whole karma system is.
Huh. Right, they got and these fucked up nations then got everything that they believe from the Bible in one fashion or another, except for that goddamn star and sun worship and all that bullshit.
What were you saying? Well, you had a quote. What's the quote?
Eye for an eye, leave the whole world blind.
No, it's about what you saying about
No.
So Gandhi basically said this about black people. The black
Oh, so
people,
we should just let the shit go.
yeah.
He says this, but this stuff you won't see in his books.
He said he's dirty, they unruly, they dirty, they unruly, untrustworthy. He said a lot of fucked up shit, right? And it was like they hold Gandhi in some great regard.
Now just remember everything he said about us. Look at India today. What's
Yeah.
happening in India
He
today?
basically said everything that India is today.
They can't control themselves. They're violently raping women and stuff like that. They're how they be making it.
Yeah, like, what was it, like 6 of them gang raped a fucking alligator?
Yep.
and then ate it.
Yeah, or a child. Most of the time it's a child, and their laws is like, well, you know what?
Actually, it wasn't an alligator. It was a fucking
Monitor.
gator.
It's Komodo dragon. Okay. Well,
They broke into the zoo.
they're probably what Donald Glover was attracted to anything.
Damn, man, I can't remember what the fuck that shit is called.
So he said all these things about pretty much black people being like wild men, like not, not being civilized. Look at India today; they're pretty much those same things he said we are. They're not civilized. I mean, how they be cooking their food on the street? You probably see videos. How some of them worship cows. They worship cows so much they bathe and drink or eat the cow's shit, piss.
Let me read
They
this.
can't even control themselves around women that just come across.
Let me read this. This Lamentations 2:15. All that passed by, clap their hands at thee. They hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth? All thine enemies have opened their mouth against thee. They hiss and gnash the teeth. They say, we have swallowed her up. Certainly this is the day we looked for. We have found, we have seen.
In other words, when we went down as a nation, all these other nations got to talk their shit about us.
Yep.
They got to laugh at us, mock us, and make cool sayings against us.
Yeah, every nation, every other nation then had they fun mocking the children of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and natives, man.
Hey,
And now,
nigger is a derogatory term in every nation. I've seen it.
yeah, every nation uses the term nigger against Jake. Every nation. And they can be darker than you. They will call you a nigger and not consider themselves one.
Like that Punjabi East Indian bitch calling a black bitch a
Yep.
nigger.
Yep.
I saw.
Yep.
I think she was a black bitch too. She was just Punjabi.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jake from over.
Yeah.
I mean, well, Punjabi. Yeah, because she sounded like I saw the shit she said after that. I can't even remember what she said. I was like, damn, look at you. What she said, the way she said it, she said like a black. I was like, but it sounded like natural. It wasn't no forced imitation like Esau tried to do a lot.
And they got the colorism shit going on over in East India where they discriminate against the darker skinned people over there. But they put the lighter skinned East Indians in higher regard.
They do that in every country. They do that in. They got the same thing over in South America, in Mexico. My man got the Chuck Liddell. That Chuck Liddell, boy. Chuck Liddell couldn't with no Iceman. But every country, like I saw this documentary where the Jake went down to Mexico and he wanted to find where all the dark-skinned Mexicans live. And everybody act like they ain't know what the fuck he was talking about. Yeah, it took him like a week, but he from hitchhiking, getting on them different buses, talking to different people in small towns. He eventually found it. There was a whole community of Jakes, Latinos that were dark skinned. Yeah, Latinos. It was a whole community of them, and it was a place that they didn't want to acknowledge. But they knew where the fuck that was. They knew it existed.
Right.
So every community has that.
Oh,
Except for Africa.
How about you? I'll try to back in that.
Africa, yes.
What's up, bro?
Yeah. So that all these Arab nations, they'll do that shit too. To their own people. Yeah, man, this shit is real.
Right. Yeah, every other nation have that hatred of us. All right, Shalom, I'll be safe out there. Yep. Yeah, so every nation does have that hatred of you Israelites. And that also lets you know that it's actually a spiritual thing, because like we were saying, they more, some of them are more dark skinned than we are. Yet they would call us niggers.
Kata.
Yeah, Akata, all types of derogatory terms.
Where he said, well, what is this? I'm sorry, but we simply cannot do business with the Kata.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, come on, man. No problem, my brother here. No, I'm sorry. We cannot do business with the Kata. It is nothing personal. Akata. Yeah, I keep hearing this Akata word. What does it mean? It means nigga. It means fox.
Yep.
Nigga, I hear like,
Mm-hmm.
so like, hey, first thing, of course, Wesley did, he took off on them niggas, man.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, even they recognize that difference between us. And trust me,
We talking about a movie of Western stuff. That's talking about deal with other.
Yep.
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 And they were treated like you're a nigga. We look the same. What are you talking about?
yeah,
Like, no, you are nigga.
yeah, everybody know. They know as Israelites, that's what we are.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Because you can look at that nigga Myron Gaines. He's a fucking Arab. Pretending to be one of us when it's convenient. But he's an Arab. He's not one of us. Not at all. And then, Tariq Nasheed came up with that term FBAs, and he also came up with that term tethers and shit. Basically, for you niggas that come from other countries pretending to be us, which we know by bloodline, a lot of them niggas from other countries are, like the Caribbeans, the Nigerians, but they pretend to be us while what is it doing? White supremacist shit.
You remember the movie Black Panther, the first movie? When they were over here in America, they were undercover. Black people.
Yeah.
Watch it, they act like that.
Yeah, but then they will basically sabotage us behind our back. Like, because I never understood it when I was younger. Jake fighting for reparations, then you'll get some uppity nigga go in and saying, we don't need no reparations. Like, what? We done been here all this time, all this shit happened to us. Why don't we need it? And then
you don't understand that every time we fought for reparations, everything we were fighting for is because it's been loosened now.
Yeah, but back then, hey, it was a hard fight. Back when I was growing up, before I knew anything and shit, it was a hard fight for reparations. And then you'll see a nigga get up there talking about we don't need it. And come to find out, all of these motherfuckers was tethers. They were niggas from Africa, doing white supremacist shit, and right, exactly. And they didn't go through the things we went through, nor do they know the history of Jake over here.
The black codes are like the beginning.
Right. Right. They don't know about none of that. They don't know about slavery over here.
Once again, this is another, they not like us, man.
Yep.
All right.
If you read about it, well, after we were freed, they made it so difficult. They put in their laws, they pretty much said anybody who fits this description cannot vote. They can't do anything. They can't go their own land. They can't leave. They can't move. They have to stay in these southern states. They can't go anywhere. They can't make a life for themselves. And then say, well, they don't want to go anywhere. They can. They're free now, but they don't do it. They're lazy. But we're the only ones working their land. They don't want to work their land because they're too good. So they're lazy. But they call us lazy. They don't allow us to go anywhere to make our own money. They arrest us if we try to plan to leave. During the Great Migration era, that's when black people started to leave and end up living in the urban areas, the city areas. They had a problem with it. They had a problem with us staying there, that we were treated like trash. They didn't want us to leave.
This is Hosea chapter 6, verse 1. Come and let us return to Yahweh, Shem Yahushai, for he hath torn and he will heal us. He has smitten and he will bind us up. So yeah, reparations is gonna we're gonna get reparations, but it's not from these devils, man.
They couldn't pay it back if they wanted to.
Right, they couldn't pay it back if they wanted to. The Heavenly Father is the one that's gonna repair us, man. And we keep saying that. Our reparations is from the Heavenly Father. What, you want reparations from this devil, or you want reparations from the Heavenly Father, man? So return to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai and you're gonna be all right. But if you stay on to this land, hey, the Heavenly Father gonna destroy you.
People who take it into captivity shall go into
Right.
captivity.
God, yeah, you're gonna be destroyed right with the devil that you love.
Remember we asked them that, like, he didn't
Yep.
what do you think that means? He that taketh into captivity is gonna go into captivity. How's the white person gonna answer? Like, oh,
They don't dance around it.
Mm-hmm.
that's not gonna happen no more. It just means that we're just gonna be like butlers.
That's how it used to be.
Hello.
Well, they're not acknowledging that they gotta pay for their deeds.
Mm-hmm.
You put us in slavery, and it says who that puts us in slavery is gonna go into slavery. Where do you think that means for you? You ain't gonna be our friends, no. You ain't gonna be at the same level. You gonna be as low as you have us here today.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
This is Lamentations 4:21. It says, "Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked."
right. Because you're telling on these one, you got drunken with the power. You got drunken from the resources and your enterprise. You're drunk with power right now. You're getting sloppy. All right. Now, right now, what does it say? Get drunk with.
It says, "Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked."
Right. Now you look, you're being exposed all around the world. Your history to the point where you get to the point where you're trying to outlaw the word Israelite. You think they didn't do that back then?
Correct.
All right.
Well, that's Maccabees.
They're trying to have people
Right, right.
They tried to excommunicate us for ourselves calling ourselves Israel in the book of Maccabees at the time of
Yep.
the Antiochus Epiphanes,
Yep.
where they tried to put laws in place that we couldn't even acknowledge ourselves to be Israelites,
Yep. Yep.
and we had to follow after their customs and not
Yeah.
keep the Sabbath anymore.
Right, because that's a real thing, and and it ain't no wonder why they trying to do it now, because they trying to outlaw the word Israelite. That's why they saying everything is Jewish. Yet there's not one instance where the Bible says Jewish, because Jewish didn't do a goddamn thing.
Right. Check this out. This is Deuteronomy 28:43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. We are the minority for a reason. Everybody know we outnumber Edomites. We are the minority because we're minor in importance. We are the lowest part of the totem pole. Basically because we are Israelites.
Mm-hmm.
So whether we call ourselves Israelites or not, whether we stop that hatred and constantly being reminded that they did this to us. Even Adolf Hitler said that shit in one of his last speeches. That you took the blacks into slavery. But everybody knew that you was not. For some reason, everybody on the planet knew that you wasn't supposed to do that. Hey, you can go ahead, but don't take them. Esau said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go ahead and take them, man." Matter of fact, the Most High put it on their spirit to think that. He put that evil thought on their mind to go forward and to actually take to go and seek us out and take us into slavery. That was their number one goal. Christopher Columbus, Balboa, all these different conquistadors. Their specific goal, conquistadors to conquer.
Oh,
They didn't come
if you
out.
read the edict from Pope Innocent III, it said basically he put in this letter that we're justified in treating the Jews this way because they rejected their Lord. They rejected Yahweh.
Hey,
Yeah, but they don't treat the Jewish people that way though.
Right.
but they know that that's them.
Yeah,
They don't struggle the same way.
right.
What did I say? They something similar to they stick to their like.
Mm-hmm.
So they've been had that plan in motion. They're just waiting for the time where they could take us down, and then start the adventure over here.
Oh yeah. Go ahead, Russ.
This is Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 16. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things.
Right, because our God is not like the other gods, because he is the former of all things. Our God created everything.
And Israel is the rod of his inheritance.
Right, and we're his inheritance.
We're his property.
Yes,
We're the ones he picked. We're special.
right. Special. Right.
That right there already explains it, that we are people separated from others. We're the ones.
And even though we went into this captivity and this chattel slavery, you know, that still hasn't changed. We still the Most High's chosen, even though we've been degraded and humiliated in every way you can think of.
Right. Right.
Still picks us. We're still his people he fights for. We are his instruments.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still laughing at how that says.
Right. Special. Get that guy's attention.
Oh, okay.
Hey, what's up, man?
This is about them saying that, you don't invent anything. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 26, verse 13. And under their hand was an army, 300,000 and 7,500, that made war with mighty power to help the king against the enemy. And Uzziah prepared for them throughout all the host, shields and spears and helmets and habergeons and bows and slings to cast stones. And he made in Jerusalem engines invented by cunning men. He made, just imagine, he made some type of, like, I would say, automatic, just shoot arrows, spears at people and stuff like that.
Same thing that they call air blast, where you shoot out there was something the Chinese used later too,
Yeah.
where they shoot the arrows out like a machine gun.
Mm-hmm.
Esau took everything that other nations did
Yep.
and enhanced it for war
Yep.
because they were given as their red horse. You know what I'm saying?
And so,
Right. That red horse, these red people have the power of war. What it's saying, Revelation. He gave them the
Basically, like you think Revelation, the 4th chapter where it talks about, the 6th chapter where it talks about the red horse is talking about these Edomites. Because what was their blessing? Their blessing was the sword.
Mm-hmm.
Their blessing was to rule the nations with the sword.
and they
Yep.
got it. Our
Yep.
blessing is to rule over everything else.
And who did they receive that blessing from? Isaac.
Yep.
You got nothing?
this is 2nd Ezra 6. And 56. It says, as for the other people which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but like unto spittle.
So in other words, these other nations are not special.
Right. Right.
Let me go up.
What, brother? You saying no? They ain't special or something?
But it
They
is
special to you, brother?
It's so special. That's how special they are. It says, and after
do
these,
you
Adam,
know what makes you special?
Right.
it says, Isaiah 6:54, and after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord, all thy creatures, of him come we all,
Right. So all nations come of Adam.
and the people also whom thou hast chosen.
Right. But the Most High's chosen line, which are the Israelites, also came about.
It says, all this have I spoken before thee, O Yahweh, because thou madest the world for our sake. Wait, the Lord is being real specific, man.
Mm-hmm.
How people going to use it to be vague?
Right. That's not talking about everybody.
So not only it's not talking about everybody, but you take us to be vague the world for us.
Right. That's why they don't read the Apocrypha, and that's also why they try to downplay the Old Testament, saying the laws is done away with. So they can try to fit everybody else in there, one of Esau's lies, while they steal everything and pretend to be on top, or pretend that they're the chosen.
That's why there's so much adultery.
Mm-hmm. You don't have to follow the laws of the Bible. Now you can follow our penal code and break all the laws, and as long as you got enough money, you can get away with it.
Right. What was that Paul that said that it was through the law that sin exists? Or sin?
Yeah.
So the law let us know that we fucking.
Yeah.
But everybody wasn't given that. Like, it's morally ingrained in us to know that.
Mm-hmm.
Or even if you see a nigga that's a homosexual, even though
there's something wrong.
even though his ass is wet, right? He knows when he's doing it, he's wrong.
Yep.
It was in the flesh.
That's why they feel guilt and shame. They're trying to get rid of that shame so they don't have to feel guilty about it. That's why they're trying to make it normal. And to do that, they put it and plaster it everywhere your eyes can look. And now they're trying to make it more acceptable by having your kids be around.
Yeah.
They grow up, the generation all like, well, it's no different from being straight.
Right, but then they will have to make it perpetual because there's always going to be something in us that say it's wrong, which is the spirit. The spirit is convicted. The spirit convicts you.
Right. It convicts us.
Yeah, because we're Israelites. And yes, there's more than one person that said it. The Edomites don't feel guilt like we feel it. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a popular belief.
Yeah.
My proof is what Israel is doing over to the Palestinians.
Mm-hmm.
It says, as for the other people whom thou also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle.
Right. As for the other people that come from Adam, all these other heathen nations, outside of Israel, outside of the so-called niggas, Latinos, and Native Americans, it said, what about?
They are nothing.
They are nothing. Bitch, you ain't shit. Okay?
But like unto spittle.
Right.
Right.
Once you spew spit out of your mouth, you don't want it back.
Right.
I mean, you disregard it, isn't it?
Yeah. Shit dangling from your shit. You gotta wipe that shit. That ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, let me reserve. This ain't doom. You know what I'm saying? It says, but as for our other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing but be like unto spittle, and thou hast likened the abundance of them unto the drop that falleth from the vessel.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the other nations. I mean, what? Yeah, a drop in a bucket, a spit out of the mouth. Once you spit, the shit is gone. You don't want it back, and it disappears. Yeah, you don't care about it. You don't worry about what happened to it or none of that shit. It's gone before you even know it.
Now, O Lord, behold these heathen, which have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us and to devour us.
Right. So hey, it's like the scripture.
Really the mystery behind, I will cause them to move them to jealousy with a people that is not a people.
Yeah.
That's really what that's talking about. Because when we were expelled out of our land of Israel from the Roman Jewish persecution, they basically that was the time of the Gentiles to the time of the Gentiles being fulfilled, which is now these other nations being in rulership over us.
Right. They completely swallowed us up now. They can talk their shit and get away with it and everything. Because in the kingdom, you best believe when we read their thoughts and they talking shit, they getting
they get their head turned to a whole
Right.
180 or 360.
right. They finna get checked real quick about it.
Sweet Jesus.
Yeah, shit.
We got to do that because we're gonna have spiritual power. We're just gonna
Yeah,
burn their insides just by looking at them.
right. And they're afraid of a so-called black Superman. Edomites have a real fear of that. That's why they protest when they'll try to cast Michael B. Jordan as the next Superman.
Yep.
Hey, we the original Superman. Gotta get used to that. That's why when they made that movie Hancock, they had to make him a drunk that didn't really do too much of shit.
And when he got reformed,
Yeah, they had to send him to jail. They had to prove that they had power over this super nigga.
he had to be rehabilitated.
Right. So,
And
you know,
the kryptonite was an Edomite.
right. The what woman? when in truth, I think Charlize Theron is really a Jake and shit.
You know what?
She went from one of them Spanish Dominican countries or some shit like that.
They were first making the movie. They didn't have that idea at first about him having a weakness like being a woman.
Yeah.
I added that part.
They added that part to give him a kryptonite. But hey, in reality, that's what it was. Eve took down Adam. Yep. Eve took down Adam by giving him something that Adam knew he wasn't supposed to have.
Harold Williams was right.
Yeah, women really are.
AI picture of Shannon Sharp being Hancock.
Right. And that bitch being being his kryptonite. Because women really are, or the so-called black man's kryptonite are really just women. You know? Yeah, that's why the Heavenly Father gave us a guideline on what to do with them, man. They gotta follow you. If they don't go the way you want them to go, hey, let them go. Yep. Yeah.
That's why
Cut 'em
go
off.
to war with these other nations and gravitate women. It's better if you chose a virgin, not a woman,
Yep.
by lying with them.
Yep.
Because otherwise,
Yep.
And it said cut them off from the building divorce.
Yep.
Also saying went so far to say they did nothing.
Yep. They leave with nothing, man. It's like, hey, they real kryptonite. But shit,
that pussy as a snake.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
what,
Yeah, and they good at
That's
it.
what Delilah did to Samson.
Yep. Shit.
Everybody was telling Samson, don't you see she's the enemy?
Right.
You don't be saying what you be doing.
Right. Shit, and this bitch was doing all types of shit.
You know, Samson was holding out stars. He kept
Yeah.
lying to her about what
Yeah.
the power is.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what? Man,
Yeah, he finally broke down and told her the truth, even though he knew what this bitch was all about.
Hey, you know, that was all that they got to,
Yeah.
all of that.
do it.
You should have turned that bitch.
All of that was pillow talk.
He
Yep.
had 10 girls.
All of that
His
was
own people.
He could have had hundreds.
all of that was pillow talk.
Like that again.
You know, when she was braiding his hair, she was doing all
Yep.
that. All of that was after they got these fucking
Yep.
bitches.
Yep. Bet you.
So what's your strength?
That's why I think why they call it pillow
What's
talk.
your
He was
weakness?
talking, he was his weakness.
Yep.
You're not supposed to tell a woman,
Yep.
Keep the doors of thy mouth apart.
Yep. That's it. But they will expose it. They will use it against you eventually. But, with that, we're going to close. Huh? Yeah, with that, we're going to close. You got the closing statement?
All praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostle and elders of Great Millstone. And I see brothers out there laboring, doing this work in truth and sincerity. And with that, we're going to close.
Yep. On three, above the ball.
1, 2, 3.
Above the ball. Shalom. See you in the kingdom.